Hi friends, welcome to our October Crafternoon. This month we're going to be crafting along with this book called The Legend of Spookley, the Square Pumpkin. And after you create your craft, you have a chance to submit your image onto our Facebook page. And if you post your craft before midnight on Sunday, October 17th, you will have a chance to win this book and this cute little Spookley stuffed pumpkin. So let's get to our story and then we'll start crafting. One day in the pumpkin patch, the strangest little pumpkin hatched. Spookley wasn't like his friends, where they had curves. He had ends. Spookley was different. He was odd. He was rare. Spookley the pumpkin wasn't round. He was square. While the round pumpkins had fun rolling along, poor Spookley sat there shaped all wrong. He tried and tried with all his might, but he couldn't budge. He just sat tight. The other pumpkins teased him because he was a square. Spookley wished he was round and could roll everywhere. That is, until one night when they all discovered it's fine to be round when the weather is fair, but there are times when it's better to be square. Halloween was just a day away when a mighty storm blew across the bay. It tossed the round pumpkins to and fro. It snapped their vines, and then off they'd go. Bouncing left, slamming right, banging, bashing, what a sight! Spookley sat there filled with fright, but glad to be a square that night. Suddenly the fence gave way. 3 pumpkins rolled out and into the bay. Do you see them in the water? Poor pumpkins. Spookley knew what must be done. It was up to him. He was the one. He teetered, he tottered, he tipped, he tried. He finally flipped and he was on his side. Again he tipped, again he flopped, again he flipped, and then he stopped right in the gap where the fence had snapped. He blocked the way. The hole in the fence was capped. All the pumpkins shouted, "Hooray!" Spookley the square pumpkin had saved the day. Then a pumpkin hit him with a whack. He thought his shell would start to crack. And then another one hit him with a thump, and another one with a smack. Then one by one, a ton of pumpkins piled on the stack with a bang and a bash and a crunch and a crash, and then it all went black. At dawn, when the storm had stopped, the farmer came out and checked his crop. He picked his pumpkins up one by one and laid them out in the warm, dry sun. And when the last one was moved away, the farmer could see what had saved the day. An odd-shaped pumpkin, short and dense, was wedged against the broken fence. Do you see Spookley in the hole in the fence? Its shell was bruised, its stem was too, but there was his brave little Spookley sitting straight and strong and true. Right then and there the farmer knew of all the seeds he'd ever sown, Spookley's were the most special that he had ever grown. And the next year, when it was time to sow, he sowed those seeds in every row. He watered and weeded and watched them grow, and oh, That morning about mid-June, when the pumpkin patch began to bloom, there were tiny pumpkins everywhere, hundreds and hundreds, and most of them were square. Some were cubes, some were rectangular, some were flat, and others were triangular. There was a bed of bright red ones and 2 rows of blue. There were polka dot pumpkins and rainbow ones too. There were thousands of colors and hundreds of shapes. Oh, what a garden variety makes. Now, every year on Halloween, Spookley's patch is quite a scene. People come from far and near to see what wonders grew that year. They stop, they gawk, they gaze, and they stare. Then they pick a pumpkin that's round, triangular, or perfectly square. Now you know the story of how Spookley grew. Maybe someday you'll tell someone too, and they'll go tell someone who tell another. And maybe one day we will all discover you can't judge a book or a pumpkin by its cover. Well, I hope you enjoyed our story today. We're going to start making our craft, and the final project might look something like this. Your pumpkin does not have to look exactly like this one. It is art, and so however you want it to look is perfect. I'm going to go ahead and place this one over here out of the way, and I am going to start off by grabbing my sheet of orange paper. With the orange paper, you can create your pumpkin either tall and skinny. You can make it square like Spookley. It can be wide, however you wish. You might choose to start off using a crayon marker or pencil to draw out the shape that you're looking for. And so go ahead and do that to create your square. On this one, I did add just a little bit of wave to it to give it some kind of texture, but you can make it straight up and down. And so that's what I'm going to do with my sample today. I am just going to cut an actual square of orange paper so you can see the difference in the two styles when we're all done. And that way maybe you can make a better decision on what you'd like to do. So I'm going to start off with the square like this. And so I don't get marker onto my tabletop, I'm going to lay this on top. But I'm going to add just a few little lines to it, kind of lightly, like a pumpkin has. So you don't have to do that, but I'm going to do that on mine. So it kind of looks like this. The next step is going to be creating some leaves and a stem. And if you want some little rosy cheeks, we have some pink paper in there. And so I'm going to start off with my stem. And again, you can use your pencil or crayon to draw out the stem the way you want it to look, or you can just cut away. It's up to you. I'm going to kind of cut, and I'm going to give my pumpkin a long stem and have it be a little wider at the bottom. So this is what mine's going to look like. And I'm going to go ahead and attach it to my pumpkin. You can use tape, glue stick, whatever you prefer. I have this tape runner that I'm using today, and I'm going to add a little bit of that and stick it down to the top of my pumpkin so it's on there. And then I'm going to make some leaves, and I'm going to cut my paper in half, I think. And again, you can draw out your leaves if you want, or you can just cut. And I'm just going to make kind of a wavy pumpkin leaf here. And you can make them pointy or wavy, however you prefer. And I'm going to make 2 of those. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and stick those onto my pumpkin as well. I'm going to put one a little bit behind the pumpkin and one on the front. Okay, so mine kind of look like this. If you look at the pumpkin I have over here off to the side, I added just some kind of like curly vines. If you've ever been to a pumpkin patch or you have pumpkins at your house, sometimes you'll see a little twirling vine. And so what I did is just took some of my green scrap paper that I had from cutting out my leaves and cut a very skinny piece, and I just wrapped mine around my marker to curl it because that was the easiest way for me. So I just kind of twisted it on there and held it for a little bit, and when I pulled it off, it had a little bit of a curl to it. So I'm going to tape one of those on here, and since I have another little piece, I think I'm going to do that again. So I have two curls. So I'm just going to wrap it around. There is a way to curl paper with your scissors as well that your mom or dad or older brother or sister might know, but this is the easiest and maybe the safest way to do this. So I'm going to glue a couple of vines on here. So we have a little pumpkin vine curling out and curling out just to give a little dimension to that. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attach my sticky eyes. So in your package, you have two big wiggly Google eyes, and we went ahead and put glue dots on the back of those. And we've used glue dots for other crafts before. They're really handy and they stick really well. So all you have to do is just peel off that plastic layer and stick your eyeball down because we have got some glue already attached to the back of those. So you can put your eyes wherever you want them. So my pumpkin's looking like this so far. If you want to, you can add a couple little rosy cheeks. In the story, you could kind of see Spookley had a little bit of cheek to him, and that's something you don't have to do if you don't want to. I'm going to make my two circles match, so I'm going to fold my paper in half and then cut a circle, and my circle's not perfect, it's kind of wavy. If you want a perfect circle, you can maybe trace around something and that'll help you get a good circle if you need them perfect. I kind of like the wavy look. And so I'm going to glue down my little cheeks. And then we just have one more step to creating our pumpkin. He's missing a little something. Yeah, that's right, a mouth. And so I'm going to take my marker, I'm going to grab my extra paper again so I don't soak through. And I'm just going to draw a little smile for my pumpkin. All right. So this is what he looks like. So we've got a square Spookley pumpkin that we've made. And so two different styles. We have the wavy and we have the very square version. So whatever you like is perfect. Don't forget at the beginning of the video, we mentioned that you have the chance to post a picture of your creation, and you don't have to be in it, onto our Facebook page, and Mom and Dad can help you with that. If you do it on our original post with this story by midnight on Sunday, October 17th, we will be picking a random winner. We let the computer just pick a number and we count down, and that's who wins. So it's not who has the best looking project, it's just random. But you will have a chance to win this cute little Spookley pumpkin and the book. So thanks for crafting with us. We hope to see you at the library and hope you craft with us again sometime. Have a great week.